A sound of raindrops and thunder will make its way to the Tennessee Valley tonight. It's where we start. I'm Kenesha Dees, and it's prompting a Fox 54 weather impact alert day tomorrow. It may look calm outside for now, but those clouds will soon give way to showers that will rain on your hump day. It's quiet now. Let's bring in Fox 54 weather impact chief meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, what's on your radar currently?
Really not a whole lot. Radar looks nice and quiet this evening. Now, we did have a couple of passing showers through the course of the afternoon, but even that, not much of that activity was actually making it towards the surface. We're just so incredibly dry here at the surface. A lot of that rain as it was falling, a lot of it was evaporating before it could ever actually make its way to the surface. And I do think we're going to be dry through the rest of the evening. Now, we are going to get a line of showers and thunderstorms into the Tennessee Valley late tonight, incredibly early Wednesday morning. I don't think that's going to be the biggest concern. The biggest concern is going to come as we head into Wednesday afternoon. That's why we have the Fox 54 weather impact alert day, 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. And we'll kind of refine that timing here in just a couple of minutes. We're looking at the threat for strong and severe thunderstorms. Of course, you need to continue to pay attention to the forecast. Continue to watch my Facebook, Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman, fox54.com, and refine your severe weather plan. You really haven't had to use it a whole lot this season, so you just want to make sure that you've got all the details settled. All modes of severe weather are going to be possible across the Tennessee Valley. We'll talk about which of these are the primary concerns here in just a couple of minutes.
We've learned tonight a Huntsville man charged with arson after a house fire. Huntsville Police Department says officers were called around 4:45 p.m. to the 4000 block of McVeigh Street for a house fire yesterday. HPD says neighbors told officers they believed the fire had been intentionally set and identified Harvey Stewart III as the suspect. Officers found Stewart about a block from the home and detained him. After an investigation, Stewart was arrested and charged with arson. He's held in the Madison County Jail on a $30,000 bond. A Huntsville man facing multiple felony charges after an investigation into child sex abuse. Huntsville Police Department says they were contacted about the allegations on February 26th. Investigators say the victim and the suspect, Jonathan Taylor, knew each other, and the alleged abuse occurred while both were living in the city. Investigators worked with the McLean County Children's Advocacy Center in Illinois and obtained a search warrant. The evidence that was collected helped establish probable cause. Authorities arrested Taylor yesterday, charging him with rape, sodomy, sexual torture, sexual abuse of a child less than 12, production of pornography involving a minor, and possession of child pornography. He's held in the Madison County Jail on a $7,500 bond. A Huntsville man arrested on 10 child porn charges. On February 26th, investigators received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children regarding possible child exploitation material. Huntsville Police Department Special Task Force identified Nathan Wade as a person of interest. Strike officers secured evidence supporting a search warrant at Wade's residence today in the 100 block of Ellicott Drive, where several electronic devices were located and seized, authorities say. He was arrested and charged with 10 counts of possession with intent to disseminate child pornography and tampering with physical evidence. He's held in the Madison County Jail on a $1,005,000 bond. The case still under investigation. Dozens of animals, including more than 70 dogs, have been taken from a home in St. Florian after repeated complaints and veterinary concerns. St. Florian police say authorities first responded to the home on February 22nd after a complaint about small dogs chasing neighbors. 13 dogs were surrendered, including one who later died. Officials returned to the home on April 21st after another complaint leading to 20 more dogs being surrendered, including one who died overnight. Concerns escalated after repeated visits, with veterinarians recommending none of the animals should be returned to the owner due to their condition. Police obtained a search warrant and removed the remaining animals from conditions described as unsanitary. In total, officials removed more than 70 dogs, along with cats, reptiles, and various other animals. This investigation is ongoing. A woman accused of pushing another woman off a cliff in DeKalb County denied a new trial. Loretta Carr and her daughter Jessie Kelly have been convicted of kidnapping and pushing Mary Isbell off a cliff at Little River Canyon National Park back in 2021. Carr entered a guilty plea in February, but later filed a motion arguing her previous counsel was incompetent and argued her plea was not entered voluntarily and was made under duress. On Friday, her attorneys filed a new motion seeking to withdraw the plea altogether, alleging it was influenced by coercion and misinformation, asking for a new trial. According to court documents, a judge denied the motion today. Her daughter, Jessie, pleaded guilty last August and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. The battle over the Serenity Apartments reached a critical point today as the city of Huntsville filed a motion to demolish the dilapidated apartments immediately. The city first sued Lauren Real Estate Holdings in January, seeking to have the apartments declared a public nuisance. In new court filings, the city argues Lauren Real Estate Holdings has failed to respond to the lawsuit or fix longstanding safety issues, claiming the complex remains in extreme disrepair with structural damage, missing doors and windows, and little to no security. The request would require the buildings to be demolished within 90 days, but according to a judge, the owner or manager of the complex did meet the deadline to secure the on-site pool. The judge canceled a contempt of court hearing and scheduled another hearing for a motion to default judgment on June 12th. A bench trial in the property's nuisance case is scheduled for September 8th. Protests ongoing in Montgomery this week as people travel from cities across the state to voice their opinions on the redistricting of Alabama's congressional map. Fox 54 told you yesterday legislators are currently in Montgomery for a special session to discuss redrawing the state's current congressional map, potentially eliminating Alabama's only two Democratic districts representing Mobile and Birmingham. It's after a landmark Supreme Court ruling in Louisiana v. Calais just last week. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us how state Democrats are responding to the redistricting push.
With the state legislature in a special session to potentially redistrict Alabama's congressional map, several organizations are speaking out, saying their voices need to be represented too. Dozens of people from across the state are in Montgomery protesting outside the State House this week. Groups including Alabama Democrats and the SPLC joined other state and regional organizations to push against changing the congressional maps. Many I've spoken to are saying it's just not right to dilute the Democratic vote in a push that would make the state almost entirely Republican. The Alabama New South Coalition is just one of the organizations protesting, taking a bus down to Montgomery yesterday with plans of staying at the state capitol all week long. The group's president, Everett West, says he plans on joining them tomorrow, adding it's critical for people to, quote, cause good trouble in Montgomery while the special session and the potential for redistricting are ongoing.
We want Alabama to be represented properly, and that includes red, yellow, black, and white individuals throughout this state. You know, we have a number of Democrats in this state also, so we just want proper and fair representation across the board.
According to organization leaders, the goal is to make people aware of what's going on while getting state legislators to listen to their concerns, saying representative democracy should represent all of Alabama's voters. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The special session is expected to conclude Friday, but any decisions legislators make would first require the U.S. Supreme Court to lift an injunction barring redistricting until 2030. Secretary of State Wes Allen assures voters the May 19th election will proceed as scheduled. We've now learned this just in, the Florence City Council approved an increase in water and sewer rates. Residents can expect a monthly increase of $20 to $30. Mayor Ron Tyler previously told Fox 54 the rate hike is needed to replace more than 100 miles of pipe and infrastructure over 90 years old. The new rates will take effect June 1st. A rare relic during the World War II era makes its way to the Yellowhammer State, and we have a look-see. This week, we also highlight and show appreciation for small business in the Tennessee Valley. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra introduces us to one of those businesses in Madison. Stay with us. It's National Small Business Week, a time to celebrate the entrepreneurs who bring character and creativity to our communities. In recent years, we've seen a shift towards sustainable shopping, but one local boutique in Madison is taking it a step further. For this business, it's not just about what's on the shelves, but how you take those products home. This business is making history as North Alabama's very first refillery, encouraging customers to ditch single-use plastics in favor of a more circular economy. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell takes us to Lemon and Lavender in downtown Madison.
On Main Street in downtown Madison, the scent of fresh herbs and essential oils hits you before you even cross the threshold. But once you step inside Lemon and Lavender, you'll find more than just eco-friendly gifts. You'll find a revolution in a bottle.
I feel like our mission is so much more than just selling cleaning products and gifts, that we really want to create relationships and educate and the whole experience when you come in, because it's all about, with small businesses, building relationships with our customers.
As National Small Business Week highlights local entrepreneurs, owner Brandy Booth is celebrating through a unique milestone, operating North Alabama's first refillery. The concept, she says, is simple: reduce waste by reusing what you already have.
You come in, you just put your container on the scale, whether you're bringing your own or one of ours, weigh it, just scan it, and that captures the tare weight, and then fill it with whatever you want to fill it with. Take it to the register, give them the little scanner, they put it on the scale, scan it, and the system subtracts the tare weight from the final weight, and then that way you're only charged by the weight of the contents inside.
From household cleaners to all-natural fiber clothing, every item contains toxic-free ingredients. But Brandy says the real secret to their success isn't just the products on the shelves, it's the community sharing their vision. As Small Business Week continues, the message in downtown Madison is clear. The future of retail might just be in the refill. In Madison, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
If you want to check them out, Lemon and Lavender is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can bring your own clean jars from home, or you can purchase glass jars at the store. Coming up, we take you to one classroom where faith is at the center of this teacher's curriculum. We've got your Fox 54 top teacher next. And Jordan, yes, we do have a Fox 54 weather impact alert.
Yeah, as early as Wednesday afternoon, we could be talking about some strong, marginally severe thunderstorms building their way into the Tennessee Valley. All modes of severe weather look like they're going to be possible this time around. We'll talk about it in great detail here in just a few minutes.
Over County 911, what's the address of your registry? Okay, your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything?
We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
As we head into your Wednesday, we're going to be talking about a Fox 54 weather impact alert day. We have not one round, but 2 rounds of showers and thunderstorms that are going to push their way into the Tennessee Valley. But we're going to be mostly focused on the second round of showers and thunderstorms that's going to move in 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. We'll take that timing and refine it down a little bit here in just a couple of seconds. Of course, we're tracking the chance for strong and severe thunderstorms where all modes of severe weather are going to be possible. We'll break those modes down here in just a second as well. What can you do for the time being? Continue to pay attention to the forecast. Continue to pay attention to FOX54.com, my Facebook page. Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman continue to provide updates for you as we head into the overnight, and then of course as we head into your Wednesday morning as well. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive your severe weather alerts, and make sure you have refined your severe weather plan. Really haven't had to use it a whole lot this spring, so make sure you know the finer details. Let's take that timing and kind of refine it down by different sections across the Tennessee Valley. 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the onset of severe weather across northwest Alabama. Now, I think we're probably going to lean more towards the 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. sort of a time frame, but at the latest, we could see showers and thunderstorms not move in until the evening. 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. across the I-65 corridor. This includes southern Middle Tennessee, again leaning towards the earlier time frame. And then 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. across northeast Alabama for the onset of severe weather. And again, leaning towards the earlier part of that time frame. Primary concerns as we head into Wednesday afternoon, definitely going to be the threat for some heavy rain, which is likely going to lead to a little bit of localized flash flooding. We could get some sizable hail, especially once we get to the early part of the evening. Gusty, damaging winds are a definite possibility. We could get some wind gusts of 60 or 70 miles per hour, and those can do some damage, structural damage, knock over trees, and of course, knock out power. There is a low non-zero threat of an isolated tornado. The threat is definitely there, but it's not the primary concern this time around. It's the secondary concern, but understand that a tornado is going to be possible. Let's look at rainfall totals. Across much of the Tennessee Valley, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, but it does look like there's going to be this section south of the Tennessee River that could pick up 2.5 or 3.5 inches of rain, and that's where I think we're going to get the localized flash flooding. Here come some thunderstorms, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. Now this activity could pack a bit of a punch. They could be kind of noisy. They could be stronger, but the overall threat for severe weather is quite low. The key takeaway here is that showers and thunderstorms could be with us for the Wednesday morning commute. So plan accordingly. We do get a little bit of a break through the later part of the morning, early into the afternoon, but then once we get to the middle part of the afternoon, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, now we're talking about widespread showers and thunderstorms. And this is the activity that has the greatest chance at being severe: the gusty, damaging winds, the sizable hail, the incredibly heavy rain. And within all of this, a couple of isolated tornadoes certainly can't be ruled out. Now, it is worth a mention that the overall threat for severe weather is going to be greatest south of Coleman County. And that tends to play to our advantage across North Alabama, where the severe weather threat tends to be a little less, when the greatest threat is south of Coleman County. We're going to transition into talking about a heavy rain concern once we get to 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. That rain is going to continue as we head into the overnight through the earliest hours of your Thursday morning, coming to an end by the time we get to the Thursday morning commute, and then we're dry by the time we get to Thursday afternoon. Temperatures currently sitting in the mid-70s. It's actually going to be a really nice evening, but then pay attention to thunderstorms that are going to move in as we head into the overnight. I don't think everybody's going to have to deal with thunderstorms, but thunderstorms are a definite possibility and likely late tonight. The morning commute, temperature's not going to be bad, but understand that a little bit of rain is going to be in the forecast. So allow yourself a couple of extra minutes. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 75 for your Wednesday, our Fox 54 weather impact alert day. Now we are going to be cooler on Thursday and Friday, 70 and 72, warming up a little bit for Saturday, Sunday, 79 and 80. Saturday looks better than Sunday. Sunday brings about an opportunity for some more rain. 73, 75, Monday and Tuesday of next week.
This Huntsville teacher I've learned stepped in and stepped up when there was a need. A woman of faith, she came in during a critical time for second grade students, going above and beyond the four corners of her classroom. Meet this week's Fox 54's top teacher, Ashley Tibbetts from Holy Spirit Regional Catholic School. Welcome to
Going to show you a walk.
Ashley Tibbetts' second grade class. If you take a look around, you'd think she's been here a few years, but it's only her first at Holy Spirit Regional Catholic School.
They were in desperate need of a last-minute second grade teacher.
And it's where she stepped in, taking on a full-time teaching gig for the first time in more than a decade.
Both of my parents were both educators, so I think that's where the teaching came from.
Tibbetts believes it's important to make learning fun, especially for her second graders, which is a big year for Catholic school students. First reconciliation and first communion.
I really try to do things, whether it's hands-on activities to commemorate special moments in their lives. We also have pen pals from Uganda, which they have exchanged pen pal letters with them, and we're trying to set up a possible Skype call so that the kids can meet each other.
Interim Principal Susan Fletcher says Tibbetts is consistent with keeping the core of the Catholic faith in her curriculum.
She, just like the other teachers, she weaves her instruction through religion, some way that she can tie religion to whatever she's teaching to keep the thread going and to be a role model to those students, just like she will be to the cheerleaders.
Tibbetts says she wants to continue to build her faith as the foundation for her students.
I love that a Catholic environment can provide children not only with an amazing academic base, but also that faith-based component of it, where you can really educate and empower the whole child.
And as if there wasn't enough on her plate already, Mrs. Tibbetts will spearhead the cheerleading squad next year. Congratulations to her. Check out the moment she was surprised as the Fox 54 top teacher, plus her full interview right here on the Fox 54 app. Also, a nominated deserving teacher on fox54.com. A historic piece of World War II history made its way to Alabama this week. The B-25 Mitchell-Made landed at Bessemer National Airport yesterday as part of the Flying Legends of Victory tour. The stop gives you a rare opportunity to see the aircraft, step inside it, and even take a flight. This aircraft is best known for its role in a mission her pilot says helped boost morale after the attack on Pearl Harbor.
This particular one was made in 1944, but what really makes the B-25 stand out in history is the raid on Tokyo with the Doolittle Raiders, and also a huge morale boost to the U.S. population because we just went through Pearl Harbor and the loss of nearly 3,000 men.
The B-25 will be on display in Bessemer through Sunday with tours during the week and flights available on the weekend. Pretty cool. Mo, what's going on with the A&M Bulldogs?
Well, they received some not so good news from the NCAA via their APR report, but I'll break everything down for the future next.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9. Featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
And good evening, everyone. Every year, the NCAA uses an academic progress rate to monitor performance and retention of their member institution. The benchmark average in a 4-year stanza is 930. And if you fall below that mark, then penalties could occur. That happened for a pair of Alabama A&M men's programs. First, the men's basketball team had an APR score of 904. Because of that low score, Dante Jackson and the Bulldogs will be ineligible for postseason during the 2026-27 basketball season. These averages are a composite of the years prior to Coach Jackson's arrival. Now, here's a shining light. Dante Jackson dealt with the same issues at Grambling State when he first took over that job, and then he went on to win multiple titles with the G-Men. Sam Shade and the football team had an APR score of 897, which is 33 points under the benchmark. Under NCAA rules, the score would be a level 2 penalty with postseason restrictions. However, the FOX54 sports team was able to confirm with the A&M athletic department that a waiver was filed and approved by the NCAA. The Bulldogs will now have a reduction in practice time, and they will not have a spring 2027 game. Sam Shade and the Bulldogs are eligible for the postseason, which includes the SWAC Football Championship and potentially the Celebration Bowl. Wednesday, John Hunt Park will be rocking with high school soccer fans as teams from across the state gather for the 2026 AHSA State Soccer Championships. This morning, the Huntsville Sports Commission hosting a welcome luncheon that featured members from the mayor's office and the AHSA front office led by Heath Harmon. Rocket City has been the state soccer championship host for almost 2 decades, and it continues to be a premier site for championships no matter the sport.
You've got to have the desire to host an event like this, and you've got to be committed, to what it takes to provide the number of people, because like I said earlier, it's just a lot of people behind the scenes that you may not see, that just to make sure that the facility's where it needs to be, and just to handle things like the parking and the admission and all of those things. So big time commitment from Huntsville, and you see that.
All right, and coming up tonight in sports at 9 p.m., we'll take you to Lexington, Kentucky for the SEC softball tournament and check in with Auburn. Let's go to Kanisha.
Yeah, Mo, coming up tonight on Fox 54 News at 9, lawmakers in Tennessee are meeting to redraw the state's congressional map. We'll hear from groups protesting the redrawing in Tennessee and right here in Alabama. It's a day that will live on in American space history, the 65th anniversary of America's first human spaceflight. We'll learn more about that momentous day in 1961. And the city of Huntsville taking short-term rental operators to court for dodging taxes and licenses. We've got those details coming up also tonight at 9. Before we let you go, a large bear's journey through a California neighborhood over the weekend drew quite the audience. Check this out. This fairly sized bear was spotted Sunday roaming around Sunland, California, prompting you see people there coming out to see what it was all about. The bear was seen walking around some local streets and then popped into some home areas. Police say they believe the bear eventually moved away from the residential homes.
I think it's and I guess I'm just assuming from the view there, I think it's the black bears that unless you really, as it goes, poke the bear, the black bears are relatively harmless unless you choose to give it a reason to be mad.
I wouldn't even be that close. I mean, it's cute
right.
from the television screen. It's cute. It's cute from the television screen.
Television does.
But I'm not going to get any closer like those people were.
Well, no, you definitely should not get any closer. But I know they sometimes show up on top of the mountains here in North Alabama, and they're typically just young males that A, don't have a wife, and B, are too old to be living with mom. So they're bored and they roam. At least that's normally the case here.
Stay cute over there.
Yeah, over there.
All right, well, that's it for us tonight. We'll see more of you, though, later on in our 9 o'clock show. We'll see you then.